Antonio's Sports Center.
Second round play at the Masters wrapping up. Tiger Woods makes history with his 24th consecutive cut made. He shot even par in his second round, finishes at 1 over. He is 7 strokes back of three-way tie at the top. Scheffler, DeChambeau, and Max Homa all at 6 under par. Extra Innings with Pledge coming up next.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger, however you may be listening, whether that's on 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, via our AA Best Bail Bonds powered audio player, or if you happen to be streaming on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead and subscribe while you're there, give the show a like. You can comment along with the show as it happens, like Fred Robert Casares Jr., who's already in there in the bullpen asking, what's the status on Tiger Woods? Well, Tiger Woods makes the cut. He finishes his first round at 1 over and then shoots even. He was 8 back after the first round when he finished time today in the first round this morning. He is now just 7 strokes back of the lead. Max Homa and Bryson DeChambeau both in the clubhouse. DeChambeau came back, shot 73 on the day. Homa shot 71, so he was 1 under on the day. Scotty Scheffler on the course still through 15 on the 16th hole. He is at 6 under as well, so there's a 3-way tie atop the lead right now. But Tiger makes history, 24 straight cuts made at the Masters, and lurking in condition, and conditions were awful today. Not great. Also, if you want to be a part of the show, you can also call in 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776. What's going on, guys? Tiger Woods is absolutely one of my sports heroes. He is the one that got me into golf. I remember watching him win his 3rd straight U.S. Amateur. Yeah, I've been watching him for a long time. And this was back, like, he was such a big deal. They were televising the U.S. Amateurs because he was winning them. And he was going to be the next. He was a lot like LeBron or Wemby. Or he was the anointed one even coming into the PGA Tour. Takes the tour by storm instantaneously, and within a few years wins his first Masters in record fashion, goes after a Tiger Slam where he wins all 4 majors consecutively, just not in the same calendar year, and then has the fall from grace, builds back up, returns to win a Masters, then the car crash, and now we're just waiting on Tiger, and Tiger is still such a draw to this sport. I can only imagine with him making the cut and playing as well as he's played, what it's going to look like this weekend in terms of viewership numbers, especially if he starts kind of creeping up the leaderboard in any way, shape, or form. Tiger Woods is, I'm going to go ahead and say, my all-time favorite sports idol. He's the man that got me into golf. I started playing after watching him win his 3rd straight U.S. Amateur, which in turn got me onto the golf team in high school and then also in college, and where I started kind of a, not PGA Tour pro, but they call them PGA pros, the guys that work at golf courses that give lessons, and they go through this thing called Q School. Long story short, I went, qualified, was on my way to be a professional, got really upset at one point, kind of left the game behind for a few years, and still play, though, to this day because Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is the man that got me into golf, and he is a legend in my eyes, and I think in everyone else's too. Jesus Sacedo says on our YouTube chat, only reason I started playing golf too. Dude, he's he's the reason a lot of people started playing golf. He is the reason people started dressing a certain way in golf with the red, the TW Nike gear. He was instrumental in growing the game. He was that big to where he was a pop culture icon. He was like Michael Jordan. He transcended the sport and brought people into the sport that never cared, wanted to. In Houston, I grew up right next to a golf course, never cared about the sport, never picked up a club, never wanted to play. Tiger made me want to play, and he did for a lot of people. And I just want to see him continue to play well throughout the weekend. That would bring a smile to my face. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. The San Antonio Spurs are going to wrap up the season. They've got a game tonight against the Denver Nuggets, and it's one of their last two. Wemby, not on the injury report, expected to play. Malachi Branham, not, though, dealing with concussion symptoms. But the Wemby narrative is growing in terms of everything else. Defensive Player of the Year still on the board. Vegas taking bets. They have taken Wemby Rookie of the Year bets off the table. You can't bet on that anymore. It is that much of a foregone conclusion. So Victor Wembanyama, likely your Rookie of the Year, but Defensive Player of the Year still on the board. So could he do something this weekend? Because he is turning players. We already heard Draymond Green say he was wrong. Wemby should be the Defensive Player of the Year. As a matter of fact, on the Green Room podcast, Draymond Green says probably his favorite young player to watch right now.
My favorite young player in the league right now. I mean, don't we all love the thought of what Wemby can possibly become? And the thing I love most about Wemby is he does it on both ends. Affects the game in an elite way on both sides of the ball. Somebody said something last week like, how scary is it that this is the worst season of Wemby's career? Very scary for everybody. And like I said before, if Wemby never grows offensively, he's already an all-star NBA player. If he never grows offensively, because of how elite he is defensively, he's already an all-star NBA player, just off that alone. So,
and I think there is, if he manages to do something amazing here to close out the year, it's really going to help push the narrative for Victor Wembanyama, because even Rudy Gobert, who seen him since he was a little kid over in Paris, talked about his progression through the year and how phenomenal he is on JJ Redick's Old Man and the Three podcast.
Public opinion, there's always been question marks. Not anymore, but early on, it was a lot of question marks. Obviously, I mean, it's something that we've never seen before in the basketball world. Me personally, I know the kid. I mean, I've known him since he was 14 years old, so I had no question mark. I know his mindset, and knowing his mindset and his heart and his family, and he has greatness in him, and not because he's 7'5", because he can do the things he can do, but because of his heart and who he is, his mindset, his soul. I've seen that in him from day one. The way he talks, the way his passion, his dedication. I knew that he was going to be special, but I didn't expect him to be doing the things that he's been doing so early. I see his dedication, I see his work ethic, I see his mindset, and I know that he's going to do some things that have never been done before in the history of our sports. He's going to change the game, and I'm so proud of him. I'm there for him, and I've always tried to be the best mentor I can be for him, not just on the floor, but also as a person, because I think that's what it comes down to. But he's way ahead of where I thought he would be. He got better month. You could see early in the season he was physically he had to adapt to the physicality of the NBA game, and also the scheduling, the traveling, the games. Obviously, I think the Spurs did an amazing job of protecting him, keeping him on limitation early on and gradually, raise his minutes. But the level of comfort that he has now, the level of understanding of the game that he shows now, I thought that was going to be there in year 2 or 3. I've been so proud, so impressed with the things he's been doing. And it's exciting. I'm excited to see.
Rudy Gobert on the Old Man and the Three podcast with JJ Redick, and JJ Redick, who interviewed him and was blown away by how polished he was as young as he was before the draft, before the season started, is also blown away with what he's seeing already.
Point about his mentality. Tommy and I, we talked to him on this show a couple days before the draft last June. And look, we talked to young players. I talked to young teammates. I went to college for 4 years. I played with lottery picks. I played against lottery picks. I've never met a 19-year-old that was wired that way at that age. He's incredible. He truly is. And I love that you say that. And I love that you differentiate between just the size and the skill, but what that guy has in his heart and in his mind. He's a special guy.
He's a special guy. And he's a special guy for the San Antonio Spurs. So the Spurs need to figure out a way to build around him to where he doesn't get frustrated with this losing. We know it's a process. We know we don't skip steps. We've heard it all 1,000 times, Pop. But this is something that has to happen sooner rather than later. You have to surround him with a team that is capable of winning and taking steps forward, because this 20 wins, 25 wins thing isn't going to cut it for 2 to 3 years. I know 2025 is circled when it comes to the NBA draft on y'all's calendar, but you may have to start building around him sooner. And maybe, just maybe, the fact that Drew Holiday was re-signed to the extension he was by the Boston Celtics, maybe that means that Derek White would become available. And there could be a homecoming of sorts, which would give you A, an excellent defender, and B, someone that San Antonio didn't want to really lose in the first place when it comes to the fan base. Derek White was beloved. And then Trey Jones could be that second unit guy, the guy that fills in, and there wouldn't be that precipitous of a drop-off in terms of point guard play like there is currently with the San Antonio Spurs. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Coming up here at the bottom of the hour, we're going to have the Rangers and Astros. Silver Boot Series continues, but coming up next, the offensive line's been a big question mark for the Dallas Cowboys and how they will handle it going into the season. Well, a couple of those offensive linemen got together on a podcast. That's right, the 8th Round podcast by Brock Hoffman, who is, as currently constructed, the starting center of the team, and he had his buddy Tyler Smith on with him. There's a little bit of maybe some light shed on what the offensive line may look like going into next season when there have been questions. All that coming up next right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the season is done. We'll look back on a Spurs letdown. Did they finish with 21? We'll talk all about the Wemby era's beginning and where we go to next. The Masters done too.
Plus, the Roadrunners have a new coach. Coach Klotz will join us at 8:30. You do not want to miss it. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com, founded by a family of leaders in the diamond industry for more than a century. We're experts in ecologically friendly lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Come clean with Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 to receive 10% off. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Fabric Talk. My favorite day of the week, Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Hey, baseball fans, go yard with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. All season long, we're offering top odds on your favorite home run bets, shared 50K Grand Slam jackpots, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Whether you want to combine multiple bets for the chance at a bigger payout or place a live bet as the game unfolds, BetMGM has all the home run betting options you could need. Download the BetMGM app, head to the ballpark, and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. For West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. May 1st, Frostbank Center. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guest Cheap Trick. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Don't miss 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Heart with Cheap Trick live.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Rue Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
90 Proof Bar and Grill is the ultimate spot to catch a game and satisfy your cravings. Kitchen's open till midnight every day, serving up delicious bites to fuel your hunger. Plus daily drink specials. Make every night a winning night at 90 Proof Bar and Grill, corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Appreciate everybody for joining me. I saw in the comments just a little bit ago, Joshua Jimenez saying, brother, you gave up on your dream, talking about when I quit chasing my dream of being a golf professional. What happened? You still came out amazing on the other side. Bullpen loves you. I appreciate you, Josh. Trust me, I'm doing what I absolutely love that I didn't know that I loved at the time. So everything worked out for the best. There's a plan in place. Just follow it through. You'll get where you want to go. And I've ended up exactly where I want and need to be. The Dallas Cowboys, they have a plan. They are following it, and nobody understands it right now. But maybe that plan has an end game. The Dallas Cowboys, they lost a lot on the offensive line. Tyron Smith, he is now a New York Jet. Tyler Biadasz is now a Washington Commander. And there are 2 holes on the offensive line, and nobody knows what's going to happen. There has actually been talk about Tyler Smith and whether he should go out to left tackle, because while filling in for Tyron Smith his rookie year, Tyler Smith played extremely well. And so there was thought maybe you kick him outside and you can protect Dak that way and then figure it out on the inside. But he has been playing extremely well inside at guard as well. There have been comparisons to Larry Allen. And as a matter of fact, on Brock Hoffman's 8th round podcast, calls it the 8th round because he was an undrafted free agent, 7 rounds in the draft, so the 8th round podcast. Brock Hoffman asked Tyler Smith about those questions about him possibly kicking outside to left tackle.
I'm coming off a really good year. guard. I kind of like, how the continuity is right now. Like you said, already preface this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, y'all. And I'm able to do whatever it takes.
Yep, 100%.
And so, we'll see what the future holds. Obviously, stay ready for anything. But for right now, I'm a starting left guard of the Dallas Cowboys, y'all.
He's the starting left guard for the Dallas Cowboys, y'all. And might be true. Maybe exactly what they want in terms of they are planning on drafting a tackle, a rookie to step out on the outside, and that may be the point. And if that's the case, good on them. We have seen left tackles come in early and succeed. Tyler Smith was one of those. He came in, played a position they didn't initially plan for him to play, even though I think he was eventually supposed to be the replacement for Tyron Smith. But played so well inside, they want to keep him there. And the fact that he wants to stay there when left tackle is one of the top tier money positions, says a lot, which means maybe there is a plan in place. And remember, he's on Brock Hoffman's podcast. As of right now, Brock Hoffman is your starting center. And we've seen the training videos out there with him and Tyler and everybody working with their off-season coaches on line drills together, building up a continuity. And maybe Brock Hoffman is the plan at center. Maybe it's not Jackson Powers Johnson. Maybe they're looking at a Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma or Arterius Mims from Georgia. Jordan Moses from Arizona. Maybe it's one of these guys, Jordan Morgan, excuse me. But it could be that is their plan. We just don't see it right now. As a matter of fact, Brock Hoffman talks about on this podcast, everybody's up in arms about the nothingness they have done through free agency to this point. And somebody inside the building is saying, hey, guys, just settle down a little bit.
I feel like obviously our fans, because, we're the Dallas Cowboys, like Solari says, like we're the standard, right? So like everybody's going to obviously have an overreaction when we're not going out and signing everybody every which way in free agency. Like, trust me, we would have loved to get Derrick Henry and Stephon Diggs and all these other guys too. You know what I mean? But we're not the first team in like NFL history that hasn't been able to like sign a bunch of players because, whatever cap issues or whatever. It's like, relax, we're good. We still got a team. Like, we're gonna get some good draft picks. Like, we're gonna be good. Like, we're gonna be just fine. So, to all the Dallas fans, I know that comment from Derek might have pissed you off, but don't fret. Your boys are ready to go.
And the Derrick Henry comment did kind of throw gasoline on everything. Fred Robert Cyrus Jr. on our YouTube live feed at SA Sports Star says, I'm a big Cowboys fan, but I'm starting to believe that the Houston Texans will finish at 12-5. Yuck. And the Cowboys will finish at 3-14. Crying. They're not going to be 3-14. They've lost a couple of pieces, most of them rotational pieces. Tyler Biotish and Tyron Smith are the biggest pieces they lost, and Leighton Vander Esch. Those are replaceable pieces. They still need a running back. They can find these in the first 3 to 4 rounds of the draft. They can trade back in the first round, recoup that 4th round pick, or maybe an extra 3rd or 2nd, and continue to garner more assets throughout this draft that allows them picks within the top 3-4 rounds that allow them to build the roster accordingly. It's not doom and gloom. It feels like it because everybody else is doing everything else. Yeah, I'll take a taco bet, Fred. I don't think they're going to be 3-14. I don't. They didn't lose that much. They still have CeeDee Lamb. They still have Micah Parsons. They still have Dak Prescott. And they still have Brandon Cooks. The team's going to be okay. They've still got DeMarcus Lawrence. Everything's going to be okay. Is it going to be as pretty as it was last year? Not immediately, probably. It's probably going to be some growing in the beginning of the season, but you do that with rookies. Guys, this has been Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Coming up next, we got the Silver Boot Series. Astros, Rangers, coming at you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you $50,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and